Summer is upon us, and while some Americans might be excited for their 2 weeks of paid vacation, it's worth noting that in several European countries, 5 weeks of paid vacation per year is a legal right. That's right, folks, while our European counterparts are kicking back on the beach, we're stuck at the office, dreaming of the day when we too can take a proper holiday. Take Sweden, for example. Swedish workers are guaranteed up to 4 consecutive weeks of paid summer holiday. Can you imagine? For whole weeks of sipping mojitos and soaking up the sun, without a care in the world. Meanwhile, in the US, we're lucky if we get 2 consecutive days off, and even then, we're tethered to our phones, checking emails and taking calls from the office. But why is there such a stark difference between vacation policies in Europe versus the US? Some might argue that it's simply a matter of cultural values, that Europeans prioritize work-life balance and leisure time more than Americans do. And while that might be true to some extent, the reality is that there are deeper systemic factors at play. For one, many European countries have strong labor unions and collective bargaining agreements, which give workers more bargaining power when negotiating their employment contracts. In contrast, U.S. labor laws are notoriously weak, and often favor employers over employees. This means that American workers have less leverage when it comes to things like negotiating pay, benefits, and yes, vacation time. Additionally, many European countries have laws mandating paid vacation time, whereas in the U.S., vacation policies are left up to individual employers to decide. This means that even if a particular company wants to provide their employees with generous vacation time, they may not be able to compete with other companies that offer less time off, and therefore lower labor costs. Of course, there are those who argue that mandatory vacation time would be a burden on businesses, and would lead to decreased productivity and economic growth. But the evidence suggests otherwise. Studies have shown that employees who take regular vacations are actually more productive and engaged when they return to work, and that companies with generous vacation policies tend to have lower turnover rates and higher employee satisfaction. So why not give American workers the same rights and benefits as our European counterparts? After all, we're just as deserving of a break from the daily grind. And while it might be too late to change things this summer, perhaps it's time to start advocating for better labor laws and stronger protections for workers. In the meantime, if you're one of the lucky few Americans who does get some time off this summer, make the most of it. Take that road trip you've been dreaming of, or visit that national park you've always wanted to see. And if you're feeling bold, maybe even unplug from your devices and truly disconnect from work for a little while. Because let's face it, in a world where we're constantly connected and always on, taking a break is more important than ever. So whether you're lounging on a beach in Sweden or hiking in Yosemite, remember to savor those moments of rest and relaxation. You deserve it.